Previously on Rings of Power. Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
For our third forging, we will make 9.
Guess I'll just going up to bed now.
Let us not tempt failure.
Don't really have any pajamas. Guess I'll just sleep in my boxers or something.
I am sorry. My answer is no.
I'll leave the door open a little in case you need to see me about anything.
I shall make the 9 myself.
Guess maybe I won't even wear those boxers.
I'm not going to molest you.
You don't love me!
Sauron, the Dark Lord, is now taken on the form of a nagging housewife. King Durin is wilding out with his ring. Prince Doran is concerned. Also, Disa found a hidden room a couple feet from the market. What did I tell you about walking, Disa? Well, she heard a message from the deep. In Numenor, Pharazôn is stripping loyalists of their rank. His pussy son gets punched. Also, this guy died, whoever he is. Now let's get into episode 6. I saw fans hyping this episode up. Apparently, it's a banger. We shall see. But god damn it, man. I done saw the Harfoots on the recap. That's already a bad sign. But luckily, it's only for one quick scene, and Nori found in the Shire is steadily becoming a reality. They really are gonna take a hot steaming piss on the Lord of the Rings.
What does it taste like? Chief, what does it taste like? Because you know what? It tastes like piss to me.
Also, Poppy takes advantage of the mentally handicapped. If you will excuse me, I need to pray real quick. Please, God, let some wild beast rip Nori and Poppy's entrails out and consume them slow. Amen. At the same time, Proto Gandalf's still with Tom Bombadil, and they are ripping off Luke and Yoda from Empire. He must choose between completing his training and saving his friends. He sees glimpses of Nori in agony. Oh, yes, again. Again. Since Rings of Power's dialogue has the resonance of a fart in the wind, they have shoved in another famous line, and this time it's Gandalf's from Fellowship.
Many that die deserve life. Some that live deserve death. Who are you to give it to them?
You miserable motherfucker. I ought to jump over this counter and bash your fucking balls in.
They really cannot help themselves. There's no depth that they won't sink. No sacrament they won't desecrate. Back in Eregion, the best plotline of the series continues to come off the damn rails. This show works best when you don't think about anything. Just go along with it and look at all the pretty images. The 9 rings for men aren't coming together. They are out of Mithril, and their attempts to get more have gone unanswered. After Celebrimbor's reluctance to even create the rings last episode, he goes all in this episode. He knows the dwarves' rings are flawed, but he buys Sauron's BS about the letter causing the problem. Celebrimbor assumes by completing the 9 it will redeem the 7, even though the letter issue still isn't resolved. You know, the 3 thrice perfected times 3 plus 7 or some shit. The math ain't mathin', they're shitting the Cheerios, a monkey in the banana patch. And Celebrimbor, boy, he is tweaking this episode. His mental state is going tits up. Celebrimbor then pushes aside all his duties to complete the rings. Even though he has no mithril, so there's not a lot he can do, the writers really just have to keep him in the dark about the events happening right outside his door.
He asks that I handle all matters of administration in his stead.
What? They even know who this weirdo in a wig is? Why would they continue to go along with this, or not at least check on him? The elves notice that traffic ceases, and they send out a party to check for an obstruction, and only one returns, and he's deader than a damn doornail, with a message carved into his chest.
Show this to no one.
This is why you can't think about anything to enjoy this series. None of it makes any sense. This shouldn't be able to happen, and Mirdania, the Randy Winch, is already worshiping at the feet of Sauron. He put the moves on her last episode. You can already see bruises on her knees, but she is just his side piece. Let's catch up with the main squeeze. Galadriel is still a guest with Adar right outside the damn city, mind you.
You yielded to him. I resisted.
Excuse me, I seem to remember you wanting to play his skin flute. The show continues to play it like Sauron completely manipulated them into doing his dirty work.
His eye bores a hole, and the rest of him slithers in.
Maybe you are just dumbasses. I'm gonna go with that one. But Adar has a secret weapon. The crown he stabbed Sauron in episode 1 is Morgoth's crown, and he thinks it holds power to defeat him. He thinks the crown and the 3 elven rings will be enough. It's just more MacGuffins for the sake of it.
The fate of that city now rests on your ability to put aside your pride
Well, they're fucked. Goodbye, Rhaegon. Galadriel realizes this must be what Sauron wants. This is not a complex plan, and a lot of it seems more like tactical convenience over calculation. It all comes back to time in this show and why laying out the players of your story, their distances from each other, and the map really brings cohesion and believability to your story. The elves would have gone to Mordor if Elrond's team didn't come across them in the woods. I'll wait to see how they handle the situation before I completely judge their version of this historic event of the Second Age. As significant as it is in the lore, it feels so inconsequential and small on this show. A lot of this is due to a lack of properly paced plot points and results in things happening for no rhyme or reason. Rhaegon also just feels so damn small. You see this same few elves and they are so damn incompetent it drives me up the wall. Everyone in this show is so damn stupid. The elves have binocular vision and no one sees shit. I was reading the Rings of Power fan subreddit and they were perplexed why people didn't like this show. They don't believe detractors of this show actually have read the books or love the lore at all. Honestly, I feel the same way, but on the opposite end. The more lore I consume, the more I despise this show. The Second Age is one of the most interesting periods, and I understand they have to condense it, and that's not really the issue. But at this point, you can't even call this an adaptation. And the dwarves, good lord, they're in a whole other show. It's a damn sitcom at this point. The king walking around, big dick style, gold piling up. Sauron drops in for a quick visit. He wants some mithril, but the king refuses him. Sauron also sees the Balrog in the flames, so that answers that question from last episode. Durin is still trying to wrangle his father in, but he plans to dig even further. But it's time. You have pushed her to her wits' end. You've gone too far. No more Mr. Nice Disa. She unveils her master plan of standing in the way. And it's one of the funniest moments of the series.
The neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here.
Also, the king last episode added 100% tax on everything. People should be turning on him already. In the show, it's just a passing statement meant to exemplify the king's greed. That consequence should add so much more to the series. And this is what I mean by these characters have no agency. And good lord, what they have done to Numenor should be a hate crime. They have jammed centuries of strife into a weekend of bickering. The blind former queen is happy to give up her power to try to change the city's prophecy. After the fight last episode and the death of random guy, Elendil is being tried for his role in it. They are really trying to make this dude the next Ned Stark. Game of Thrones in one season was able to make Ned Stark an iconic fan favorite character. And Elendil, they just threw his potential down the damn drain. His relationship with Muriel has been fast forwarded on screen. They didn't even know each other last season. Now they're willing to sacrifice themselves for each other. It got me looking around like, did I miss something? Muriel takes Elendil's place in this judgment by the sea. But Muriel gets judged and the beast throws her back. It all just seems like a waste of time. There are interesting elements here, but everything happens in the blink of an eye. Shit is just happening at this point. There are moments when I see seeds of what a complex dilemma of ideology could have been on this show. And I know I've become a bit apathetic to this shit, but it still makes me sick. How good the history is of the Second Age, and in competent hands, how cool it would have been to see it brought to life. Towards the end of the episode, Celebrimbor eventually walks outside when he hears the siege bells, and everything is fine outside his door. And I really do like this shot as it transitions to the truth, and I will give them props. Wow, it's actually a cool shot. They did something good. Congrats. The episode ends as the orcs release the trebuchets and the battle begins. And I will say at least the next episode will hopefully have some action, because this episode just continued to spin its wheels. If this is considered a great episode by fans, goddamn, standards are in the shitter. The same issues plague the series. It's not going away this season. It's still fascinating to watch a series rot from the inside out in real time. Said my piece. Thanks for watching.